What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. We're going to be chatting news. No shortage of excitement in and around Bitcoin. Is there ever? We're going to be chatting tons of stuff. We got Nico here from Simply Bitcoin to fill us in on all the most important shit of the week. And there's one topic I know that you guys know I'm excited about, but I'm going to wait until it gets to that point in the news. But I'm very, very excited about something in particular. Maybe a little too excited, but nonetheless, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take this semi-win. As always, this is live. Anything can happen, so I defer to my friend Bill here.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
If you have not already, like, subscribe, share, all those things, super important. They help get this content in front of more eyeballs. I am Ben with the BTC Sessions. This is your daily session.
Hodl the Bitcoin.
All right, before we get into the news, let's take a look at where we are on the market right now. $19,795 per coin. A single US dollar will pick you up 5,052 sats. 91.2% of all Bitcoin have been mined. In terms of fees, 16 sats per byte for the next block. But if you're willing to wait a little bit, anything north of 1 sat per byte should probably be fine. Although I say that, and I've been dicking around with this Raspberry Blitz tutorial, and I was trying to set up some channels the other day, and the mempool got away from me a little bit. So yeah, you never know when that's going to happen. Shout out to sponsor the show, CoinKite.com. These guys, they just have the best Bitcoin stuff out there. I love my Mark IV to secure my Bitcoin. It's amazing. There's so many damn features. My tutorial on it is 2 hours long because it has so much cool shit in it. So check it out. Links for them are down below. Obviously, they've got tons of other stuff too. The open dimes. They've got the block clock. By the way, block clock micro just rolled off the assembly line and should begin shipping soon. So if it was a little too pricey to grab a mini, get a micro. There you go. And of course, they've got things like the tap signer, the Sats card are in the mail for me. Yeah, all kinds of great stuff there. So check them out. CoinKite.com. Go to the store. Code BTC Sessions. Gets you 5% off everything there. So check them out. Shakepay.com. If you're in Canada, super easy way to stack sats, e-transfers in and out. There is no deposit or withdrawal fees, thin spread, and the app is just so simple to use on mobile. If you sign up with the link down below and you purchase your first $100 worth of Bitcoin, they will give you $30 for free. You will also get $30 every time you subsequently share your link and somebody else signs up and makes a $100 purchase. Pretty damn good deal. It can stack up quick. You can then, after referring anybody, shake your phone every single day for free sats. You can also get your sats back Visa card, regular Canadian dollar purchases, and you get Bitcoin back to save. I love it. So be sure to check them out. They are super awesome. Shakepay.com. If you use the link down below, again, you can get that $30. LEDN.io. You can use your Bitcoin for a ton of different things. These guys have been very, very useful for me. Whenever I'm in a bit of a cash flow crunch, I need dollars, but maybe I don't want to sell some Bitcoin at the moment. I'm worried about capital gains or buying back in at a higher price. Well, here, I can deposit Bitcoin, get a loan of dollars to my bank account within a day. And when I pay back those dollars, I get back the same amount of Bitcoin. That is a godsend. They also have plenty of other stuff. They have their savings accounts for Bitcoin and USDC with quarterly audits from a third party, which you can cryptographically verify that your holdings are part of the audit so you don't get jerked around like you're using Celsius. Tons of other stuff here. B2X offering, Bitcoin-backed mortgages. They got it all. Start.ledn.io/BTC sessions. If you sign up and fund your account, they'll give you $10 for free as well. Bitrefill.com. These guys help me a ton living on Bitcoin because I can pick up all the gift cards I can imagine with Bitcoin, both on-chain and via the Lightning Network. Yeah, you can earn sats back as you shop. You can top up gift card, phone refills, Lightning channels, referral program. They got tons of it. Plus, if you're in the US, you can use them to pay your bills too. You can get on that Bitcoin standard as well. So check them out. Links are down below. And finally, if you're backing up any important Bitcoin wallet, get it in solid steel, friends. Paper doesn't cut it. You don't want to be worrying about water and fire and all that other crap. Get it in steel. This is how I'm backing up my important Bitcoin wallets. So privacypros.io/BTC sessions. Get a little deal as you pick those up. Shout outs. The booster grabs. Oh, I'm gonna choke on myself. Okay. Let's do a few of these comments and then we'll dive into the news here. Cryosats. Oh my god. Cryosats booster shot. He's been dropping the booster shots like mad. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Allow Cool Joy. Great episode. Thanks, man. Second breakfast. Great talk. I can definitely relate to Chris's feeling of isolation. Seems like everyone is more concerned with their favorite sports team is doing rather than learning new skills and maintaining good health. Hashtag end the dad bod. Indeed, man. I'm working on that too. BTC sessions for leader of the council. Ben's from Joey. Thanks, Joey. I appreciate your vote, but all Bens are equal. I see what you're doing there. Don't break us apart. Yeah, man. Hitting it from all angles from this is the future. The queen is dead. Long live Bitcoin. It will save us from these idiots that are in control at the moment. Keep stacking, kids. By the way, did you guys see the thing where there's no inheritance tax with the royal family because they don't want to erode their wealth? What does that say about how the rest of society gets fucked, but those at the top do not? Just saying. Cliffbanger says, hey, Ben, how about including an HRF in the show split? Actually, I'm going to do some manual donations. I owe one right now. I'm going to be dropping 100,000 sats to the HRF, and I just used them as an example in my Raspberry Blitz tutorial to show how to do a transaction. So you'll be seeing more, but hats off to the HRF and Gladstein. Separate money and state from Michael. One rational man. Free yourself. Keep inspiring and helping pass time. My debt, slavery, job. The jobs, inflation, the jobs. I want my money back. That's why we're bullish from Bitcoin Grandma. Bullish as fuck as on people like Obi being involved in Bitcoin. Epic rip. Booster shot from Cryosats. Fast boots from Turla. Thanks again, all. I will be investigating micro miners. Ooh, from the last. We got a bull there from Michael again. Second breakfast. The point of a society is creating as much energy as possible. Couldn't agree more. Bitcoin mining will give places like Africa the ability to obtain first world standards. And last one from Joey. I strive to one day be a man worthy enough to have my daughter look at me the way Nico looks at Ben. That's great. I love it. Well, Nico, what do you think about that?
I'm blushing, bro. That's what I think about that. No, I'm gonna say it. Ben's a hero, man. That's what you look at. He's one of the legendary independent Bitcoin YouTubers. So,
dude, I am so lucky to have you on the show every single week because you bring the fire with the news. It's fantastic, and we gotta decorate here for Simply Sessions, obviously. So. Dude, thank you for being here. What's up? What's going on? Lots of stuff. Oh, and you need your screen too. There it is.
Crazy week. It's always a crazy week in Bitcoin. Things continuously. I always have this fear on Sunday. I'm like, what if there's no news this week? That has not happened to me once. This is Brian Armstrong, the CEO of the famous shitcoin casino Coinbase. And guess what he was doing? He issued a lawsuit against the U.S. Treasury for the sanction of Tornado Cash smart contracts. So essentially what happened, Ben, was we've been covering this over the past 2 weeks, right? For the first time in its history, the U.S. Treasury sanctioned open source software, not a person, not a government, but a technology. And we were making the case that I believe that is because they're setting a precedent because, hey, Bitcoin disintermediates them. Bitcoin takes tremendous amount of power from the U.S. government because the U.S. government weaponizes the U.S. dollar, and they do that to go after regimes that the U.S. government does not agree with. So what happened? All that being said, I had to preface it. In the process of the Tornado Cash sanction process, what ended up happening is there's a lot of public figures that had their Ethereum addresses out there. So what they did, a lot of trolls, is that they sent tarnished Tornado Cash Ethereum to those addresses. And those people are like, holy crap, could I not move this now because of the sanctions in place? And that's where this lawsuit by Brian Armstrong comes in by Coinbase. Now, the Treasury man did something really interesting, right? And I'm going to get to why I'm not a big fan of this, but they kind of reverse track, Ben. And what they did was, for transactions involving Tornado Cash that were initiated prior to its designation on August 8, 2022, but not completed by the date of designation, U.S. persons or persons conducting transactions within U.S. jurisdiction may request a specific license from OFAC to engage in transactions involving the subject virtual currency. U.S. persons should be prepared to provide at minimum all relevant information regarding these transactions with Tornado Cash, including the wallet address for the remitter and beneficiary, transaction hashes, the date and time of the transactions, as well as the amount of virtual currency. And the reason I said I'm not a big fan of this, Ben, is because it's not attacking what they actually did. They're not changing what they're doing. They're saying, you know what, we're going to give you what you want. Hopefully you dismiss this. But it's not calling into question, why is the U.S. government sanctioning open source software? And that is the real question we should be asking. And I'm going to connect this with the things that we have been covering the last couple of weeks, Ben. Look at that. U.S. Treasury, OFAC, sanctions 22 Russian two entities, including associated Bitcoin and Ethereum addresses. What did we cover last week? Russia made a major announcement that they were going to use Bitcoin to facilitate international trade. And of course, also on the same week, U.S. Treasury OFAC sanctions Iranian ransom gang members and 7 associated Bitcoin addresses. So, gonna kind of put my Nico Jones hat on here for a little bit. Could it be that they are setting a precedent? They're preparing themselves. And remember what Cynthia Lummis said with the talk with Parker Lewis at BitBlock Boom. It is the Treasury, to quote her own words, that has been the most hostile towards Bitcoin. And those are just words, but the actions are also saying that as well.
Thank God that Bitcoin isn't an account system. Hey, like Ethereum, it's like, oh, this is it's not inputs and outputs. It's just accounts. And so you quote unquote taint the entire account, and you can specifically say, oh, there it is. But in Bitcoin, it's a series of inputs and outputs that can be interpreted many different ways, and that you can fuck up the heuristics by using tools that help you do that. And there's no way to really say what's what, right? I mean, you can see like an equal output coin join, but it's like smelting down, a bunch of gold bars and then casting new ones. You don't get to say who owns whose gold at that point. Or if you poured 2 cups of water into a jug and then you poured 2 new cups of water, who owns whose water at that point? It's really, there's no direct correlation between who actually owns what. So thank God for that. I'll give credit where credit's due. I mean, at least, suing the Treasury, fantastic. I'm all for that. It would be nice to see Brian Armstrong come to the defense of Bitcoin in regards to energy and all that. So that's a thing, but nonetheless, I don't agree. You shouldn't be able to sanction open source software. And I hate the regulatory bullshit around this. But at the end of the day, if you're able to regulate it, if you're able to sanction it, it will be sanctioned and it will be regulated. So that's why it's so important that Bitcoin functions the way it does. Not only functions the way it does, but continues to get better at what it does. And I just see Ethereum going the opposite direction. We'll get into that in a little bit, but I'll let you move on here.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. I'm really glad that Bitcoin functions the way it does, and I'm not gonna lie, it's slightly entertaining to watch them trying to mold the existing system on top of Bitcoin. And then you're kind of you're slowly seeing the train wreck because they're not going to be able to. That doesn't mean they're not going to try. Anyways, moving on to another episode in the saga of the separation of money and state. We all remember this, right? We covered this on Simply Sessions last week. MicroStrategy chair Michael Saylor accused of evading $25 million in taxes by DC Attorney General. Michael Saylor fired back. MicroStrategy files to sell up to $500 million of stock to fund Bitcoin purchases. MicroStrategy, a software developed has become a corporate Bitcoin vault, plans to sell up to $500 million of stock to fund more purchases of the cryptocurrency. The timing stands out because it's the first tangible sign that Michael Saylor, who recently stepped down as CEO to become executive chairman and focus on buying Bitcoin, really is not backing off his audacious plans to turn MicroStrategy into a Bitcoin proxy. I totally changed. It's not a crypto proxy.
Yeah.
It's a Bitcoin proxy. So
Come
this
on,
is funny.
Coindesk. What the fuck are you trying to pull here?
This is funny, man. Sue me, I will buy more Bitcoin.
I love because there was a ton of commentary around like, oh, he's gonna jump ship or he's gonna start selling and everything, and he's just like, fuck you, $500 million buy. Like, it's hilarious. I thoroughly enjoy that, and again, the smile. I don't see his smile shrinking anytime soon. That's great. Well, kudos, Saylor. He's going to Pacific Bitcoin. I just saw they announced he's going to be down in LA for that one. That's going to be. I'm excited for that. That'll be a fun one.
They got him. They got him during the Twitter Spaces, and he agreed. I love. It's crazy that's all happening on the internet. But Ben, one thing that I noticed, and it wasn't me that said this, is I forget who said it, but Michael Saylor is going through the degen phases that we all went through. He just has significantly more purchasing power. Wrecked the first year, wrecked the second year. This is his 2018, and he's like, oh, crap, double down, sell your shares, buy more Bitcoin.
It'd be hilarious if he sold MicroStrategy and just becomes a recluse, buys like a tract of land, creates a citadel, and blows the middle finger to everybody. Amazing. Awesome. Well, let's keep rolling there. Congrats, Michael, on the future stack.
Absolutely. When is he going to grow out the beard? We shall see.
Soon.
So this is what I'm most excited about today, Ben. The Conservative Party of Canada elects pro-Bitcoin leader Pierre, how do you say the last name?
Poilievre.
Thank you. As party head. I've mispronounced that all week long. The Conservative Party of Canada elected pro-Bitcoin Ontario Member of Parliament Pierre Poilievre as the party's new leader on Saturday, and it wasn't even close. Pierre not only dominated in vote count, but also the preferred candidate in almost every single riding across Canada. And here's a quote by him. Government is ruining the Canadian dollar, so Canadians should have the freedom to use other money such as Bitcoin. And of course, the opposition leader, who's currently Prime Minister of Canada, responded, telling people they can opt out of inflation by investing in cryptocurrencies is not responsible leadership. Fighting against life-saving is not responsible leadership. Opposing the pandemic supports to save jobs and helped families is not responsible leadership. So that's right, Ben. I'm YouTube trained.
Yeah. Wait. Let's look at the line above. We'll call out questionable, reckless economic ideas. Bitch, did you see the size of the Bank of Canada's balance sheet to fund your deficits? Holy Christ, we quintupled it. We quintupled the balance sheet of the Bank of Canada to finance Trudeau's CERB or CERB or CURB, whatever they want to call it, payments. He was paying out $2,000 a month to whoever wanted it. They found out that a bunch of people hacked in and managed to take other people's like pandemic payouts, and to the tune of like tens of millions of dollars that were just like stolen from the government that will never be given back. Like economic, like, oh my God, this guy is the king of reckless economic ideas. And he just announced he has an inflation what the hell did he call it? An inflation relief package to the tune of billions that he's going to just send out and pepper people with money to fix inflation. It's unbelievable.
Dude, I mean, but look, I'm seeing this, it's a little bit evil because it's saying, hey, how dare you opt out of this money that solely benefits the ultra wealthy that benefit from asset inflation and the government? How dare you, you dirty serf? You must continue to use the money that steals your time, your energy, your life force. This is very sinister. I think if you were to look up a definition of gaslighting, this tweet would pop up.
Yeah. Was it somebody? There was somebody saying like everybody that is like on like a supporter of Trudeau is jumping on the anti-Bitcoin. Like if you would have followed Pierre when he mentioned Bitcoin, you'd be wrecked. You'd have your life savings wiped out. And they all use like the 1 year chart. And the funny thing is had you opted out when Justin Trudeau was elected, you would have 700x'd your life savings. 700x. He was elected in 2015. It's pretty unbelievable. So I'm excited about Pierre because it's been a rough year in Canada. I don't know if you're familiar. It's been a hell of a time. And this guy has been, in my opinion, insane. And stupid me, I voted him in 2015. I've very much changed my world outlook over these past 7 years. But nonetheless, we have somebody that's like the height of thus far Canadian totalitarianism, as well as, and sorry, I see in the chat 70x, not 700x. I misspoke. But the height of Canadian totalitarianism, the height of like MMT insanity, and now we see on the horizon, first of all, Pierre Poilievre getting into the leadership role of the official opposition. It was like you read it, but it wasn't like he eked in or like he had a decent time. He was like damn near 70%. So it was like an absolute landslide. The next closest place wasn't even close. It was like 16%. Yeah, 16% for Charest, who was like up next. So he's the clear choice for people that voted there. I think that it's still going to be tough against Trudeau whenever that comes to blows, because there's a lot of people that have been, stuck watching CBC and CNN for the past couple of years. So, I think people are starting to realize that printing money and like giving tiny little checks to people everywhere is actually really contributing to the cost of things. But I don't think it's fully cemented. And I think a lot of people don't realize that those things have made them so reliant on the state that the very idea of removing that to them feels like it would be the end of the world. But actually, over time, it would very much help the country and make and it's not that you can't have things that help people out, but obviously there can be, people can opt to create programs that help people out. The government's still going to exist. There's still going to be taxes there. I don't think we're going to be abolishing taxes in Canada anytime soon. But at the same time, like there needs to be some sort of reason. There needs to be a swing back towards sanity in this country. And that's what I'm hoping. And those that are unsure about Poilievre and his stance on Bitcoin, early on, there were a few like crypto mentions, but like he's got some fantastic Bitcoiners in his ear. Jeff Booth, Greg Foss, to name a couple. He knows what's up. He understands. I think it's smart that he's kind of shutting the fuck up about Bitcoin right now because it gives people too much fodder, because we all know normies do not understand anything about Bitcoin, let alone just regular economics. So if he can kind of keep on like a basic message of like everything's broken and we need to fix it, I think he'll do well. So I'm crossing my fingers. I think right now, if I had to guess, I would say it's a coin toss. I would say it's a 50-50 shot that the next Prime Minister of Canada will be a Bitcoiner. I don't mind those odds.
Yeah, man. Oh, man. It's after everything that has happened, at least, you know, there could potentially be a good ending to this. And dude, he is one of the most based politicians that is running for office in an extremely well-developed country, right? You know, you have, I love Nayib Bukele, I love El Salvador, but the reality is, you know, El Salvador is this very small country, right? Mm-hmm. Canada is a very big country, very powerful GDP-wise as well. So if a Bitcoiner got elected saying those things, like it's the money printing that's the issue, I think it would send shockwaves around the world. So very excited for that.
Absolutely, man. Let's keep it rolling. I'm sorry for my rant through the middle of your news, but I'm a little excited, as you can tell.
I was looking forward to it. I knew that it was coming. Okay, so check this out, Ben. Very, very big news. Fidelity, Charles Schwab, and Citadel Securities to launch Bitcoin and Shitcoin exchange. And it goes on to the exchange. The exchange will also be aided by ventures, by VCs, including Citadel Securities, Paradigm, Sequoia Capital, and Virtue Financial. If you know a little bit about VCs, you know these guys are absolutely massive. Now, the reason that it's big news, in my opinion, Ben, is take a look at how much money Fidelity has under management. 4.5 trillion. Not the B, the T. 4.5 trillion US dollars. Charles Schwab, 8.14 trillion, and we covered this a couple weeks ago. BlackRock as well. You combine all of that, it's a little bit less than $30 trillion. $30 trillion. Remember in 2017, I know you know what I'm talking about, Ben. We all said, the institutions are coming. The institutions are coming. The institutions are here. They're here. It's happening. And holy crap, if you just do 1%, 2% of that 30 trillion, that is a lot of money flowing into Bitcoin. Now, it's not all, you know, rainbows and unicorns and all happiness, right? At the end of the day, what worries me about this, because at the end, what is the revolution? The revolution is people taking self-custody. And the risk of this is rehypothecation, which could be used for price manipulation. And of course, nothing changes if the old system continues just because Bitcoin was added. This is a revolution of people, individuals taking personal responsibility and claiming back their financial sovereignty through self-custody, right? And what worries me about this is that all these firms control a tremendous amount of money that belong to the older generation, I'm assuming. And where is this Bitcoin really going? It's going to be held under custody by Fidelity, by Charles Schwab, but not by individuals. And that's the other side of the argument. So from an investment standpoint, woohoo! From a revolutionary standpoint, not so much.
I sense a tutorial coming. How to dump your your paper Bitcoin and how to buy real Bitcoin. I think that's coming up.
Absolutely. Well, any other take on this, Ben?
I mean, again, like, I think with stories like these, you see the story and everybody goes, yeah, but Bitcoin's down. Bitcoin's not at all-time highs anymore. Well, I mean, a lot of these stories tend to be slow burns, right? They're launching said exchange. They're basically in the process of allowing people to access this. And look at the market right now. The market, yes, we're down. We're in a bear market. And so when they make this utility available to their customers, right now, there's not going to be a ton of people that maybe want to dive in. There'll be some, there'll be more than previously, but what happens when the reach that these guys has, all of a sudden in the midst of a bull market, all of the people using Fidelity, Charles Schwab, Citadel Securities, all of these, they now have easy access to get exposure to this incredible asset, the soundest money that humanity has ever seen. And I agree with you on the take regarding the custody issue. It's a problem, but they'll get exposure to it. That breeds curiosity. That breeds learning. Not everybody will start diving further down the rabbit hole, but some will. Some will. And so I think the mission of Bitcoiners in the coming years will maybe for some shift on educating people who own paper Bitcoin about why they need to own real Bitcoin. That'll definitely become a priority of mine as it becomes clear a lot of people are partaking in this kind of stuff. So it's a positive and a negative, but it's a negative that I think has checks and balances. And when shit hits the fan, at the end of the day, there's still a limited number of Bitcoin. And when those margin calls come a calling, somebody's going to have to pony up and give me my fucking Bitcoin.
Exactly. And there's no printer of last resort.
Indeed.
Anyways, moving on to the big news, the merge. But this is a Bitcoin show, so we're going to give you the Bitcoin take. So, for anyone that doesn't know, Ethereum migrated from proof of work to proof of stake. Now, other than all the centralization issues and the fact that the biggest stakers are going to be exchanges, meaning it's going to be very easy for governments to compromise that, just knock on the door of the exchange, right? That's what they did to the legacy system, right? That's why there's giant compliance departments in the back of banks that you never see. But anyways, I'm going to take it from a different angle. Get ready for the FUD, because this is coming. This is the narrative. The narrative is Ethereum uses 99.99% of less energy than Bitcoin, and therefore we must shut down Bitcoin because Ethereum does the same thing, but it's more energy inefficient, completely ignoring the trade-offs, okay? And this is one of the first things that Vitalik did when they did the merge, right? The merge will reduce worldwide electricity consumption by 0.2%, right? And look, when the World Economic Forum, on the front page of the World Economic Forum, that means that Klaus was applauding this, says Ethereum merge, what it means for the cryptocurrency industry, and you click on it. And the first thing that it says on the top, Ethereum is about to switch blockchain verification system from proof of work to the more energy efficient proof of stake. Ethereum merge could cut the network's energy usage by as much as 99.5%. It could be a sea change towards sustainability for the cryptocurrency industry. Also moving on, this is a report by the White House. We covered it. Climate and energy implications of crypto assets in the United States. Now, and I said this, why was this report released on the same month of the merge? That's a big coincidence. And a lot of the research that this report used came from Digiconomist. And Digiconomist tweeted this out today. It says Ethereum has just ended its environmentally harmful proof of work mining. So clearly the reporting that the White House used was biased in the first place. The network's electric power demand is likely reduced by 99.98%, which comes down to possibly as much as a country like Austria requires. CO2 savings may equal global CO2 reductions by EVs when Bitcoin. So get ready for the FUD machine. It's coming. And I think the big question here, Ben, is that what people should be really asking themselves is half the planet fundamentally believes that using less energy is a good thing when that is completely disconnected from reality. You can verify this yourself. Human prosperity and energy usage are completely correlated, right? So as long as people continue to drink the Greta Thunberg Kool-Aid, thinking, hey, let's use less energy, terrible things are going to happen. If you don't believe me, Europe is going into the dark ages this winter because of following the renewable energy policy. So Yeah, man. I'm sorry I get a little heated up, Ben, but the ominous clouds are over our heads and the storm hasn't hit. But man, is it coming, and it's going to come hard.
Dude, the best part about this, though, is that there's all these people like digiconomists that are bitching and whining that Bitcoin should change to proof of stake. And they're going to quickly discover, one, that we don't want or plan to, and two, that they can't force it to happen. Like it's going to be TikTok next block. Maybe some jurisdictions will come out with some shitty regulations. Well, we already saw that happen. We saw China. Oh, Bitcoin mining banned. Well, the largest migration of ASIC miners in history. They all just found new homes. Actually, not even, because a bunch of them are still there under the radar. So really, like, I mean, I just picked up my ASIC, my first one. Very excited. It's on the way. Shout out Upstream Data. Got myself a black box. But like, it's just, nobody's asking the question, why was energy necessary in the first place? And it's all in the name. Like these guys, they're not interested in work. They're interested in stake. I want to own something and I want to do nothing. And I want that to make me money. And that's not how Bitcoin works. You need work. If you want more Bitcoin, you have to do the fucking work. You have to create value. And creating value is creating value for the network, or creating value in which somebody is willing to exchange their precious sats for you for your good and or service. So this is what it's all about. And I don't know if you saw, there was a post also from Vitalik, or a video of him, where he's saying that, well, proof of work is constrained by the laws of physics. But with proof of stake, we've migrated to a system where the laws of physics don't exist, and we get to make the rules bend to, be more flexible to whatever we want to do. So basically what he's saying is they've migrated to a system where the monetary policy is entirely made up, and the laws of physics don't matter. There's no constraint on what they can do. And so the only constraint is who has the stake. There's a girl on Twitter, Tip. She does a lot of awesome like TikToks and stuff like that, and like raps about Bitcoin. Anyway, she tweeted out, proof of stake circular logic explained. Largest coin holders determine the state of ledger, which determines the largest coin holders. And then she has basically a I'm going to have to show it because it's too funny. Circular logic of Ethereum proof of stake explained. So if you're a largest coin holder, you get to help determine the state of the ledger. And the ledger is what determines the largest coin holders. So effectively, by having the most coins, you get to decide who has the most coins in perpetuity moving forward, more or less, is the gist of it. So yeah, man, it's there's gonna be tons of FUD. It's tough. I appreciate the people on the political side trying to fight that battle. I think it's important to do both, mostly as a time buying mechanism. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is making Bitcoin resilient and immune to this kind of bullshit.
Yeah, 100%. That I think that really serves the purpose. The political side serves the purpose of making the transition easier. I think we win at the end, but it's more so about, not getting hit in the face with a baseball bat. And that's a metaphor, YouTube. Okay. Anyways, here's the last piece of news. And again, I put this here on purpose. Honey Badger don't give a F. Honey Badger don't care. White House report. China ban. Hash rate all-time high.
So great. It's beautiful to see. I'm very, again, and it'll keep, and this is what people, they'll look at. I saw somebody the other day saying the average cost of a Bitcoin is this right now, like this is the market value of Bitcoin. The average cost of electricity in wherever the hell they were is this. So people are mining, and I was like, it was basically showing that it was a loss. I was like, people aren't mining at a loss. They're not mining energy that comes from a grid where it's expensive. They're seeking out the most energy efficient ways to utilize to mine. They're looking for waste energy. They're not buying the shit that you're buying off the grid. They're not doing the same thing as you. The reason that they can afford to do this in a bear market continuously is, one, the difficulty adjustment, but two, being efficient as fuck. Nobody gets it.
Nobody gets it. Honey Badger doesn't care. Honey Badger keeps going. And now I forget who I read this from. It didn't come from me. I think it was Lynn Alden. 94% of proof of work mining is coming from Bitcoin now. I think that was always going to end this way. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm so excited to start my first burr to get that Bitcoin miner burring. It's going to be exciting. It'll be exciting times. So, dude, I appreciate this. This was fantastic. You always do such a good job bringing in all the news and all the great topics. So I appreciate you. Thanks for being here, man.
Always an honor. See you next week. This is your Simply session.
Thanks, man. I'll see you soon. All right, everybody. A few last things to address. Also, go follow Simply Bitcoin. Subscribe on YouTube. Go follow Nico on Twitter. Tons of great shit coming out there. This is just a taste of the news. It's the best of the week, but they've got their daily, every single, 6 days a week, just tons of news coming at you in depth. So check them out. I want to show you guys a couple things. So I didn't drop my tutorial at the beginning of the week. This one's going to be dropping on the weekend. I got some editing to do. There's lots of stuff going on, but nonetheless, this is Ride the Lightning, and this is my Raspberry Blitz, which is purring away on my desk or on my shelf behind me. So I've been sorting through Raspberry Blitz and the web user interface, all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, I got my node up and running, been playing around with Lightning, linked it up to Zeus, all kinds of stuff. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be dropping over the weekend. I mentioned earlier, there's that beautiful block clock micro. It just came off the assembly line. Those will be shipping soon. I'm excited. I got one of those just to test it out. Maybe I'll do a little video on that as well. A couple other things. Next month, turns out I'm going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina for Halloween. Very excited. So if you're in town, let me know. October 21st and 22nd. Also, I got to get a page up for this ASAP, but I'm going to do a workshop. I'm going to do a workshop on Cold Card. I'm going to do a deep dive. It will be a 4-hour deep dive on the Cold Card, probably on the Friday. I think that's where it's going to go down. So as soon as tickets are available for that, I will put it up. But be sure to leave me a comment. Let me know if you're going to be in Charlotte. Maybe we can link up, or I'll just see you at the event. Anyways, there's a day of, there's lots of stuff. The Beef Initiative is going to be there. I was talking about those guys last time. There's going to be a Beef Initiative dinner and pumpkin carving. There's speakers and workshops going on all day on the 22nd. And there's a costume party that evening. So I think this will be fun. It's like just kind of a fun social event. You get to get your hands dirty with workshops and everything like that. I'll have my satellite event going on as well. Just tons of fun stuff. So, and it's my first time in Charlotte. So if you're going to be down, let me know. But anyways, if you're curious about that, Halloween.party, you can check that out. And finally, tomorrow, why are we bullish? We've got Eric Podwatchke from Bitcoin Magazine. We've got Rob Warren from Upstream Data. And we've got Croesus, and he just puts out fire content all the time. Love that guy. They're all going to be on the show. So be sure to check in for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And that's it, guys. I'm going to sign off here. Thank you so much for watching and or listening. If you're streaming the pod, streaming sats, thank you for that. As always, like, subscribe, share here on YouTube. Very important, really helps the show. Thanks for those that have been doing it. If you really liked what you saw, you can help out the show in a couple other ways. You could hit the previously mentioned sponsors down below. CoinKite, Shakepay, LEDN, Bitrefill, BillFodl. They're all down here. And you could always drop me a Bitcoin tip at my Strike page, strike.me/BTC sessions. Type in any amount you want. When you get there, hit the tip button. You'll see a Lightning invoice, or if you tap the arrow to the right, a regular Bitcoin QR code. With that, I am out. Have yourselves a wonderful day or evening, and I'll see you guys next time for your daily session.
HODL the Bitcoin.